Alright, welcome everyone in this new video tutorial about Diablo-like dungeon generator. And this video we are going to continue to build our Gizmo feature logic, and especially we are going to make it so uh, we don't have to wait for 3 seconds before stuff actually spawns. And we are also going to make it so the client can see what's spawning, but we are actually spawning actors that are not replicated, so we have to take care of that. So basically we're going to improve our feature and go further down the road of the Diablo 3 dungeon system. So let's open up our BP level generator blueprint. Let's go to our Gizmo folder, spawn Gizmo. And in there, we are just going to... what are we going to do? Here, we are going to add a reroute node like this. We're going to plug that. And then we're going to grab that and collapse that to a function. And we're going to call that spawn Gizmo actor. Like that. And this is not going to be an actor, this is going to be a gizmo, a BP gizmo. That's what I wanted to avoid by using the reroute node, but it didn't work. So we're going to plug that in there. And we want to say in actor class and in gizmo. Like that, so I changed the name of the parameter. We want to go to that function and we want to ask can we ask if that actor is replicated? So we want to get the class defaults and we want to hide everything but is replicated but replicates. So we're going to remove everything but replicates like that. So if the actor replicates, we only want the server to spawn the actor. If not, we're going to just go ahead and spawn the unreplicated actor. Like that. And we want to grab the gizmo and plug that to the actor transform. And we want to hit compile, hit save. We want to hit play. And I think the client, so we cannot see what the client sees because he cannot move, but we can see from afar that we have little orange cubes. Which means they are still spawning, and that's because we didn't specify if any of these actors were actually replicating. So our enemies, they are actually replicating by default, NPCs as well. Destructibles are not, we're going to make them replicated. Events as well, and rewards as well. We might have, for the sake of testing as well, but especially testing, we're going to remove replicates from the BP destructibles. And I would like to be able to move with my with my character. So can I do that real quick? I'm not sure if I can do that really quickly. Can I? So I need to open up our controller, and I need, instead of moving to actor, I'm going to store that. So in our top-down controller blueprint, in our move to it location function, actually not it's Unreal function, we're going to promote the location to a variable. This is going to be destination, like that. We're going to save. And what are we going to do here? We are actually going to add movement. We're going to grab our character. our pawn, I mean our pawn, get controlled pawn. Can we add movement inputs? Yeah, we can. We want to add movement inputs, and we want to say, so we don't want the simple move to location. We want to say that we want to move towards, the direction is going to be what is going to be? It's going to be where I am looking at my destination, getting the forward, and we want the forward, and the scale value is going to be 1. We want to force. We want to hit compile, hit save, hit play, and it's going to move only when I hold my left mouse button, but I think it's going to work for the client as well. So that way we can see if the client sees the other elements, and we can clearly see he sees the other elements. So I'm fine with this. We can get rid of the simple move to location. Like that, we can hit compile, hit save. And then what do we want to do? We actually want to make it so I want to get rid of the other player for now. I want to make it so they spawn correctly. So how can we do that? First, we're going to make it so we have to, so I need to open up our generic tile blueprint. I want to make it so we place our gizmos on the ground. Or do I? I want the framework to be as smooth as possible, and I'm wondering what's the better way to place the gizmo, and I think the easiest way is just to grab them and use the shortcut to put them on the ground, which is by default end, kp end. So, but when you kp end, for instance, if I kp end, so kp end does not work in the blueprint editor, but it works in that editor. So when you hit that key, the stuff goes down to the ground, and it will do something like this. So I think what we are going to do is that we're going to make it so the gizmos are actually going to have a scene root, which is the parent, and the billboard is going to be 50 above, 50 Unreal units above, and if we hit compile, it's going to take ages because gizmos are used everywhere, and it needs to update them everywhere. So once we are done with the compiling, we need to hit Control Shift S to save everything, and we can see they all have been updated, and they are not all quite. We're going to make it so they are 100 above the ground. But we are actually going to spawn item. Where are we actually going to spawn item? The easiest way will be to spawn item at the exact gizmo location, just for the sake of us building our blueprint the correct way. What I mean by that is building the blueprint in such a way that if we spawn our destructible at the gizmo location, it's properly fitting on the floor. So that blueprint is actually properly set up because its root is on the floor. So if we spawn a destructible exactly at a gizmo location, it's going to spawn the blueprint, that destructible at the perfect spot. So that's the setup we want. So we can properly see all of our gizmos. That's fine. That's good. And they are properly set up. So we are spawning the destructible at the correct location, if I'm not mistaken. So for the cube, it's fine. For the rest, it's not. Why is that? Because the root of the root of the character class is in the middle of the at the middle of the capsule. So basically we can do that easily by going to our spawn gizmo actor function and saying cast to character class. Are we actually spawning a character? So we are going to reroute node there to avoid wires madness like usual. I mean the usual wire, the madness wire we are used to now. Okay, nodes. So I expanded all nodes. I didn't even know there was such a node. How can I? Okay, I'm just going to re-hide them real quick because I cannot stand having such a big node. And what do we want to do here? We actually want to grab our character class. Oh, we cannot. Can we get its capsule? No, we cannot. If we get the class defaults, I actually want the capsule. I actually want the capsule height, but we cannot grab that by default. So how can we do that? How can we make it work for all actors by default? Or maybe we'll make it so okay, I know how we can make it so. So our enemy class is actually going to be a child blueprint of our BP NPC class. We're going to hit compile, hit save, like that. Then we're going to open up our NPC class. And we want our NPC class to have a variable, which is going to be capsule height. This is going to be a float. And we actually want our construction script to grab that variable, to grab our capsule, to set the capsule half height. So this is going to be the same variable, capsule half height. This is going to be plugged. If we hit compile, it's going to bug. The capsule height cannot be lower than capsule radius, so it fixed. Unreal automatically fixed it. So if we're saying the capsule height is 100, we get this. I think the proper value is 90, like that. So we want that variable. Perfect. So as you can see, now that the enemy is a child blueprint of the NPC class, he also has a capsule half height variable, and we can move that. We can open up our NPC class again, and we can move that variable to a metrics folder. We can hit compile, hit save. We can grab our level generator, and now we can try to cast to NPC class. And whenever the level generator tries to spawn one of our NPCs, it's going to grab the class default and it's going to spawn him. We're going to break these. How can we break these? Split struct spin like this. The rotation is the same, the scale is the same, but the location is going to be the location of the gizmo plus we're going to split that as well, plus the location plus twice the capsule height, or oh no, only once. Only once is enough because the root of the actor is in the middle, like that. So we actually want to, what do we want to do here? I don't want to use to copy paste that node. So I'm just going to say, I'm just going to recombine struct spin. I'm going to promote that to a local variable. This is going to be temp transform, like that. And we are going to store our temporary transform like this. We're going to split the struct spin in there. We're going to plug that. Then we are going to rewire this. So if we are spawning an NPC, we are modifying that. And the first thing we want to do is to set that temporary transform to the transform of our gizmo, like this. And if that's not an NPC, we're just going to rewire this to that. So whatever happens, we are always spawning our actor. So the highlight is bugging. I don't know why it happens sometime. If we are spawning an NPC, we are increasing the Z value. I think it's just going to work right away if I'm hitting play. Okay, so now they are, I think they are a bit on the ground. Are they? Aren't they? We're going to check. So the easiest way to check is by checking if the Z value in here, we specified in here, is equal to the size we specified in the capsule half height. And it seems to be the case. So they are not supposed to be on the ground. In the ground. So are they actually in the ground? I cannot zoom further. They pretty seem to be locked to be in the ground. So in any case, we're going to make them move to see if they can actually move. And to make that happen, we need to make it so they actually have an enemy controller. So we can grab the NPC blueprint, go to our auto-possess AI enumerator and say we want them to be auto-possessed whenever they are placed in world or spawned, like that. And then we want to simply plug a simple logic that makes them move. So they're going to wait a random time. So whenever they spawn, they're going to wait a random amount of time between 3 and 5 seconds. And then they're going to move. They're going to move to get AI move to. What spawn do we want to move? We want this spawn to move. Where do we want him to move? I think we want him to move in somewhere around him, so we're going to grab its location, get random reachable points, navigable points in radius. We're going to return that location. Radius is going to be 500 for now. We do not care. We are not going to. I don't even know what to feed in there. We're going to say that whenever we success or fail, we're going to go back to our delay, like that. So they are going to move over and over. I'm going to hit compile, hit play. So if they do not move, this means they are either on the ground, either we have a problem with our nav mesh. So apparently they are moving through the dungeon quite well. So guys, are you moving? Yep, they are. They are moving through the dungeon. So I think it's going to wrap up that video. We actually spawned our actors properly, and we made our enemies and NPCs move. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.